Woohoo! I'm live. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome to Goddess of Love Healings. And usually I do just tarot, but I'm going to, like the video started, connections unstable. Please don't be unstable. Not today. All right. Thank you. We're back. So I got cards laid out here that Spirit wanted me to lay out and tell the story. So first and foremost, I got channel messages wrote down. I'm going to go through here, which is my story, and this is who I'm looking for. Okay. So like mine was, okay, it's on the theme, the variation in the theme. But the bond with the parents is as important as the individual behaviors, okay? And us as children adopt and take up these patterns, habits, and certain belief systems and believe that it has to be that way when it doesn't. And we'll get to that later. But as children, you learn how adult relationships work. Obviously, we know that, right? And I think a lot of the world right now, since the time of coronavirus, we've all had this time to inner reflect and see what needs to stay and what needs to go, what no longer works mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? So with that being said, so I'm going to kind of be back and forth. I got some notes here to go by so I can stay on point and on topic. This is important. So children raised in fractious, volatile, quiet, hostile, oh my God, is it retrograde? But hostile households may have difficulties in managing emotions or may ignore problems in their lives. Okay, so this was my issue. Okay, this was my issue. I just ignored the problems. I conformed to every relationship for it to fit the other person. I didn't care about my own self. I'll tell the story later. But so parents and their marriage can impact, and it's impart important lesson about the role of emotions and their management. Okay, so an attuned parent are emotional coaches, and that is what I actually healed my inner child wounds to be, that mental and emotional coach. Well, more than that, but this right here. Okay, I got unstable video. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to keep going and pray that the divine is going to reconnect me. So healing begins when we start to recognize, right, the behavior exhibited by our parents that shaped us negatively. Okay, so the positive stuff we can keep. What worked for the marriage worked. But the negative stuff that we adopted and brought into all of our relationships, whether it's a friend, work, career, your financial situation, whatever it is, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, for you. So we often neglect looking at the bond between them. Okay, so we neglect looking at the bond with each parent that the child has adapted to or adopted, and the individual behaviors. Okay, so I'm going to turn the page, and then I'm going to use the cards that Spirit had. So our parents' marriage is as big an influence on us, right, as the individual behaviors. So outside of the marriage, their mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual reactions and behaviors to that. So you didn't know you had a choice, that you could choose your own. And this is what I have learned to do. And how I did this was, I felt like I had to alienate from the world, from my family, when all in actuality, my family was actually the ones that were showing me the repeated habits, patterns, and belief systems that we kept. And that was no longer working. It was very unhealthy. All right. So I'm going to get into it. The cards that are laid out here. Let me tune in to my spiritual team, my spirit guides, and energy. Okay. Okay. So I don't know who really move at a slow pace. I'm not sure how long the video will be, but if you stay to the end, I thank you now. I appreciate you, because without you and what you go through mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, I wouldn't be able to change what I was going through, because I still see it. I see it. It's everywhere. And especially because we're all been put on lockdown to take the time to actually get in and build the new you. 8 of Cups. Okay. Okay. So she's walking away from all this, and this is the past. And she's on a journey. She's trying to find this missing cup. It looks like a cup's missing here. So she's being led and guided by the moon and the intuition, right? And okay. Yes. I was tuning into my spiritual team. Okay, so she's walking away from all these emotions of the past, right? To she thought she was broken, right? She thought and she felt she was broken, so she needed to go on this inner journey through self. Okay, and this is how I can relate, and maybe you can too. But she's walking away from the past emotions to go see what's missing here, right? I have this empty spot. Feels like a void, that something's missing from my life, right? So she's following her intuition. Her intuition is guiding her on this new journey, this new path forward. She was not broken. Okay. She just needed to honor and release these emotions and move forward, following her intuition, because the intuition knows all. Okay. So we get stuck in our intellect, and we block out our intuition, and we don't feel or know it's even guiding us. Okay. So maybe you can relate to this card. The 8 of Cups. Leaving the past behind to go fill this void that she felt she needed to feel. All right. So out the next card is the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. I love this Halloween deck. I'll put it a little closer so you can get details. Okay. So 3 of Pentacles is about a foundation. All right. It's about going on this journey to rebuild herself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and even etherically. And what I mean by that is the people around her or him, no gender base, but it's about building a solid foundation from within reality, that she wasn't broken. She just needed to walk away from what she thought all these feelings were all hers to carry, and they weren't. Okay. So let me tune in here and listening to my spirit team. All right. So she felt bound and stuck to one way of life, one way of thinking, one way of being, And here she's got these cuffs on, right? So it was about foundation relationships, being hurt in relationships, whether it's work. You can put your own story in here. Mine was relationships mainly. Well, every area of my life, but mainly relationships. So this is why I became a relationship coach. And I had to heal, not had to, I had the opportunity, like you also have, when you become aware of this, that your inner child was running your life, was creating your life for you. Okay. So through this whole experience for me, and maybe for you too, that I learned that, I had other options, but I wasn't taught or I wasn't told that I did. I believed that this was our belief, hey, this is the way it is. This is the way we treat each other. This is the way we talk to each other. This is the way it feels. This is the way it looks. That's not true. You can change it. It is absolute possibility. I did it. I'm a living proof. Okay, so with that being said, so now she has this foundation mentally and emotionally and physically, spiritually, and etherically, rebuilt herself by walking away and pushing all these emotions, not to bury them, but after she viewed them that they did not work anymore, she walked away and she went to fill her own mission, her own passions, her own purpose, right? So that is what we didn't know. We had the actual choice, or we didn't feel it either, because we were taught that, this is how we think. We can only think this way. We got to listen to other people. We can't trust ourselves. We trust others. We can't trust ourselves. We trust others. You get it? So how somebody else thinks, we were taught that was the way, that's better for us because, we haven't experienced it yet, blah, blah, blah. And we get all these stories going in our mind that holds us back from our own potential in life, whether it's a relationship, the career you want, the job, So this person decided to follow her intuition, seek out a new path, rebuild the inner foundation, mind, body, and spirit, and it started to reflect on the outside. So this is where this card comes in, okay? This is the world. And this woman is me, is you. You have the key to the world inside you already, okay? And it's whatever you want for your own life, okay? You get to let go of everything that was negative and how it might have impacted you in raising your own children. And that's where I had enough. I was like, okay, this is so not freaking working right now. So I wanted better. I wanted not only better for myself, but I wanted better for my own children. And it just felt like, man, this is what I'm here for. This is the torch. This is the legacy that I get to give back because I walked this path. And if you're on this path and you feel stuck, just follow the inspiration that your intuition is giving you. And it's hard. Strings pulling me this way in my heart, and my heart pulling me this way. And it just wasn't working. It wasn't working. So I had to alienate myself from the world, from my family, with still being the observer, okay? And watching other people, how they think, how they feel and react to the world in general and in different situations in their lives, which taught me that, yeah, okay, I see it. It's a repeated habit pattern and belief system that we're only meant to be this one perception, one focus. And it's not true, folks. It's not true. So here's the key. Okay, this is the world. Okay. She also she owns this house, meaning her own mind, her own heart, her own body. She can wear what she wants. She can feel how she wants. She can express her feelings and everything how she wants, not how other people energy, masculine energy of where there was control, manipulation, and all this misguidance. Okay, but it's not no one's fault. And this is really strongly what I want to note. Here's a side note for the video. Nobody is at fault. None of us, the whole world, nobody could have known that at the end of time and change of our world, ever expanding world, transitioning, that we would ever, come to this conclusion like, wow, we have a choice to choose. We don't have to be controlled and manipulated and mentally and emotionally abused and spiritually and physically. No, you don't have to. You don't have to anymore. Okay, I'm giving you the keys right now in this video. Okay, and there'll be more. So you take these keys and you leave all this. All right, here is the Six of Swords, right? This is about travel. This is about moving forward past all this mental prison and torture that you've been carrying, right? Not to say that it was not useful, okay? And what our parents taught us, yes, was useful, and it was definitely the divine's plan, okay, for now, for change. And that's what we get to feel and think about differently. The different switch of perception, right? So there's a storm brewing, and moving forward. She's not even taken, or he, no gender, not even taken these swords on the journey. Okay, she knows there's going to be storms ahead, but she's got the tools now. She got this key to the world. All right, mind, body, and spirit. This is it. Right? So we get to move forward. So, okay, let me tune in. So it was about making a decision. Okay, so there's the moon, there's the intuition, there's the decision. Feels right. I'm going with it, whether I trust it or I know what the final outcome is. Kids that I won't meet. So here's the Three of Wands. So my business, how I built my business and how I healed my inner child was very how would I say it? In a non-conventional way. Okay, most would look at me as crazy, and I don't care. That's why I'm different. I'm unique. I did it differently. I was meant to. So the Three of Wands, all right, she's holding this light to the darkness. Like I said, with this first card, Two of Wands, all right. So there's a decision, okay, and what she stayed on it. She made a decision in a non-conventional way. So maybe this resonates to you, maybe it doesn't. But the Three of Wands, she's holding these candles because obviously the lights went out. All right, the lights went out. It got totally dark. And she's coming down these steps like, man, if I trip or if I fall, will I be able to see to get back up? Okay, well, she learned that she is the light in the darkness. The darkness into darkness brings the light. Okay, so the only way out, okay, and it's again the three: mind, body, and spirit. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles after her. And the Ten of Pentacles is family, it's fidelity, it's your ancestors, it's animals, children, right? It's this feeling, it's a value, okay? It's more tangible, right? Because she came out of this darkness with her whole mind intact, her whole heart healed, and body as well. And now she sees the value the family is to her own healing. Okay, her or his. Sorry. I don't know why. This must be for a feminine out there. But it's to follow your own dreams. I mean, you can take this Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, it looks great. It's the tree of life also. The way we're taught about values in life, right? But there's this other house in the back that's a lot bigger, right? And there's a light on. There's a light on, all right? And it's cold outside. It's about stability, foundation, security, inside and outside. So, yeah, I'm listening, tuning in, spirits up. Okay, so yeah, it's about how do I want to feel safe. It's about being able to make your own decisions and what house you want, how you want to decorate it, and not going outside of yourself and asking for advice. You know, it's about your values, your family values. Maybe you're building new ones, right? And letting go of the old, the ones that didn't work, right? That didn't support you mentally, they didn't support you emotionally, and they sure didn't support you physically. Right here, tangible. So, which house would you choose? Right? Okay. So, and again about mental and emotional, physical and spiritual, we got the Hierophant here. Okay, and by this deck, it's supposed to be spooky, so don't let it fear you. So there's the priest, all right? He's doing an exorcism on this person. And I don't know if you feel it or not, but I see that in the priest, the shadow is bigger than him. All right. So it's about the spirituality, it's about your belief system. All right. So this is distorted masculine or feminine energy. Vice versa, it works both ways. But this person, I don't know, it feels like she's pushing it away because she sees that the shadow teachings, right, that she was taught was actually from the ego mindset of spirituality, you know, and she's like, oh no, I want my own, you know. Is she pushed? I do believe that's a female, right? So this is what she woke up to. So who's getting rid of the demon, right? All right. So this is also about a choice, and be able to change your own beliefs and make them concrete in yours and make them work for you and your family. All right. So yeah, to me, I'm feeling, and I feel this strongly, how to get rid of this demon in another person, and it's not working because she's pushing it away. She's pushing. He's the one that's possessed. I mean, it could work both ways. So take what resonates. And then we have is that space. You know, we don't trust it, and some's useful and some's not. But this is about the mental conflict. Comes to spirituality or who's who, right? So you get to choose. You get to choose your own way and let this go. So by her taking this person, taking and following her intuition and leaving the past emotions of behind mentally and emotionally and physically and spiritually, she got to build and rebuild her mind, rebuild her heart. She knows now what love is through the self, right? Self-care, self-love, by alienating what no longer worked and no longer served her life. She moved forward and left that behind. So we got a lot of mental conflict and a lot of emotional healing because of it. Okay. So this here actually follows the priest and the exorcism. Okay, so this is the man of the house. All right, control, manipulation, power. All right, we see this all over the world right here, but that's changing because of the time that we get to introspect our own feelings and thoughts and actions. So, kind of looks like Vincent Price. I don't know if anybody knows that because I'm an old soul and I literally can see this. So, he's got these trophies and he's really proud. He caught him himself, you know, right? So, you can look at this negatively or positive, however it relates to your own life, right? So, he's proud. He's kept, it's like that gun. He kept or an arrow, whatever you want to use, kept his eye on the target, and he's proud of his trophy. He himself stands tall and proud. Hey, I did this, right? So I'm this, whichever you resonate with, but she followed her intuition. She's very intuitive. She's proud to say that she is being seen, paraded, and noticed for her vulnerability, her growth, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and etherically. You know, at some point, it looks and feels like a stallion right there with no assistance, right? Um, it looks like it's hard to see this dark. It feels more like victory. She's being followed my intuition. I hold this man her for that healing, that coming into union with self and with communicated. Okay, so this is a Two of Cups. This is about relationships. It could be past lives, relationships, healing from. There's a whole another metaphysical and physical perception that you can take both ways, but this is about coming into union with that partnership, right? That help reflect back what needed to be healed. Okay, that is what happened in the relationship I'm in right now. Actually, was the key. It was the key for my whole way I approached how my self, and I showed him by doing that what he was neglecting, looking at what he needed to heal, right? So by me saying, hey, you're good enough, right? And him saying, I'm not good enough, he was showing me that I was good enough. So, you get me? That was the relationship and the union that God had brought me to heal. And the way this is how I'm all my relationships, even with my children. And this is exactly what I learned and how to think and communicate and react in my relationships and how I communicated to myself. It was like, damage your own mind and perception of yourself. Spiritually, we wouldn't grow mentally or emotionally or even physically. We wouldn't know how. So, again, just take what resonates because I'm trying to go back and forth with different perceptions that you could understand. Um, let's see. So she's educating herself on her own inner demons, I feel, of how she felt superior in her relationships or not. It works both ways. Okay, so she educated herself. She looked at she faced the fear and that she wasn't good enough, passionate about. Okay, this is how she communicates this game to educate the self. Take a pause here. So yeah, she communicates the truth. She knows the truth. She knows within the self and seeing it reflected in not only the family and the tradition and the repeated habits, patterns, and belief system, but in others as well by being not only the observer, but watching how others, what's the word, spirit? Not just being the observer, but oh well. Anyways, but yeah, so she is earned this crown to be able to teach it to others. She's planted new seeds of growth at some point in this journey. What is she talking about? Don't get nervous. It's okay. But it's just to teach you to be more mindful, to take time out for yourself. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, knows the truth. And the ego mind is that mental and emotional conflict, that them strings that your heart will pull you in one direction, your mind will pull you in this direction, right? And you don't know what the hell to do or what steps to take physically. So don't worry about it. Just go with the flow. That's what I'm here to do, is educate you in this. Okay, so if you got seeds you planted that you're becoming aware of that was not working or unhealthy for your work, career, finances, your children, whatever it is for you, fill in the blanks. But it's already started. All right, you can't change it. You can't take it back. You got to just go with the flow. Allow that to be a lesson, whether it's in love or in your career, how you treat yourself, right? So just be okay with right where you're at and education, seek out a mentor like I did. I have so many mentors with Harper for in learning how to read tarot and intuition courses and classes and workshops. And now I'm doing this and I love it. So I'm going to keep going. I got 3 more cards, well, actually 4. So yes, back to the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, you worked hard with whatever you planted. You either overthought and that I chose to react and communicate by inner child running my life, them inner child wounds. It literally, I hurt people. These are some of the seeds, we all plant and we can't take back, because we can't possibly know how a person thinks or feels, or what they hold deep inside, mentally, emotionally. I just recently lost a dear heart loved one in my family, and it was tragic, and it just totally resonates. And that's why I chose to stand up and hold this key for you of the world, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and etherically, how we can balance this in every area, right? You can either choose the 10 of cups, because it's like, this is the tree of life. We can balance it however we choose to. We can choose to do it unconsciously by living only in the past and recreating it and bringing it into our now, or consciously choosing to let go, walk away from that crap, and build a new you, right? And it's not that you're broken, it's just honoring and releasing the past, like things that you thought you failed at. You didn't fail. You just weren't meeting other people's expectations. And I learned this on my own personal journey, because I was afraid to make this video. I mean, we learn certain values from our parents. Oh, this is getting itchy. Values, and belief system, and habits and patterns that are just not healthy. And we ended up giving this over and over and over, and it's been a repeated cycle and a loop that the entire world has lived in. And now and it's like this overflowing, right? So it's how these are aces, okay? The first card is the Ace of Swords. So it's about the truth and how we hurt ourselves with our communication, with our thoughts, right? Keep doing this. So I chose the Halloween tarot because of Halloween, and I just love the illustration and the feeling. I really read, but whatever it is to you right now, I'm using my. Anyways, Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is someone that really doesn't know how to express their feelings or even feel about their self, and whether they're receiving love, pushing love away, so on and so forth. I feel like by holding on to these emotions is what keeps this person stuck, her or himself, and with thoughts and words and so on and so forth. Let me see, anything else, Spirit? So they're showing me this Two of Cups, this union, this healing energy. If you notice, one of the people in this card have wings, right? So it's like sent, it's divine, it's divinely guided to heal. In the synergy I can feel is with self-acceptance, right? No more limited belief. Nothing can keep you limited in your fullest potential. It did not. So the last card on the top is the Moon card. Boy, somebody really needs me right now. But I have a choice to answer or walk away. Okay, so is she following these howling dogs, which can be naysayers, leading her astray? Or is she following her intuition? She's following her intuition. She can hear, she can see, and she can feel these dogs, but she's not afraid. She is focused on her intuition, like I am right now. And I'm open to spirit to give this message, to make this video today. And that, I'm not going to lie, that is annoying. However, the gate is open. The gate is open to share your experience. Please leave it in the comments. Please forgive me for the interruption. And if any of the video might have cut out, I'm always here. I'm always available. You can find me at Goddess of Love Healings on Facebook. You can search me up on Google. I got distracted. Let me see. All right. Yeah, so that's it. This is what what you learn from your parents' marriage, either divorce, maybe you were only raised by one parent, maybe you had a workaholic parent, maybe you had a parent that was taught you how to have anxiety or fear or whatnot, whatever it is to you. I'm not even going to get into my story. It's too long. But this is it. This is the truth. You have a choice to walk away, listen to the inspiration, your inner nudge, that knowing, that niggling feeling in your gut, or that guidance that you hear, you feel, you just know that you're on this path. This is what's happening. All right, so I got to make a decision. Do I stay here? Do I walk away? Do I focus on other people? Do I focus on me? You know, it just goes back and forth. You have a choice. Focus on you. You know, don't mind that, because I've been really doing a lot of remodeling. I'm doing my own work, you know, but whatever. Yeah, that's it. It's like, educate yourself. The education's out there. It's not just me. I love to help guide others, bring them back to their whole, all true, authentic selves, and leave the past behind. You can't change the past. You can only start from right now, where you're at, with self-acceptance first, forgiving, honoring, releasing all the past, to start creating your future right now, the way you want it, the way you want love, the way, just you name it, career, happiness, passion, mission, whatever you feel, it's your truth, okay? Wherever you are right now, that is it. Accept it, so everything else can change. So, no need to be nervous. I know it happens because you can't see beyond, you can't see beyond that leap of faith that you know you're supposed to take moving forward, but you stay stuck. You stay stuck in this job that you just don't like, this relationship that's continuously hurting you emotionally, mentally, physically. It's challenging. If you want to stay there and face it, there's lots of lessons for you, okay? Or you just accept where you're at, say, okay, this is where we're at right now. You're not there to change your partner. You're only there to look within yourself, observe what your partner is reflecting, and take that and run with it. Okay. So I love you. I love you all. So glad I got to be here today. So nervous. I'll have more in-depth videos, but this is who I am. This is what I do. And I would love to assist you where you're at right now. Doesn't matter. I don't care where you're at. We're not going to focus on the wound. We're going to get you from where you're at, out of there, and moving forward easily, naturally, effortlessly to your dreams and desires and the way you see your happiness and wish fulfillment. Thank you. Have a great day.